everyone, my name is Naledi Mfoloe and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Today we dive deep into the currents of information, from the pulse of politics to the heartbeat of entertainment. We've got it all covered, so please stay tuned for a news experience like no other. It's another beautiful day, and today we turn our attention to the world of employment and discrimination, a topic both timely and timeless. Our focus today is on a significant study that has brought to light persistent racial biases in the job market. Now, the story begins 20 years ago with an innovative study that still echoes in today's conversations. Now, imagine the bustling job markets of Boston and Chicago 2 decades ago. Employers posted numerous help-wanted ads, and two economists saw an opportunity for a groundbreaking experiment. Now, they sent out fake job applications with names that suggested different racial backgrounds. The results were stark. Applicants with white-sounding names received 50% more callbacks than those with black-sounding names. Fast forward to the present, and researchers have taken this premise and expanded it into an even more comprehensive study. Now, researchers from the University of California and the University of Chicago recently filed 83,000 fake job applicants from 11,000 entry-level positions at Fortune 500 companies. They aim to measure racial bias in hiring practices on a massive scale. Now, the findings, now published in a working paper titled "A Discrimination Report Card," revealed that presumed white applicants received 9% more callbacks than black applicants on average. Now, this study is not just about statistical data, it's a lens through which we can examine the ongoing issues of racial disparity in the job market. Now, it's about understanding the systematic forces at play and finding ways to actually counteract them. Now, let's dive deeper into the findings and the implications.
Of research that you've done, we mentioned areas in which were more likely to discriminate. Which companies and which areas were less likely?
Yeah, so we see less discrimination on the basis of race against our distinctively black names in these fictional applications we sent. In the food store industries, which I mentioned earlier, you can think about that like grocery stores. We see less discrimination in freight and transport, which include companies like FedEx and UPS, as well as some in other utility companies and communications companies like Charter and Spectrum. So again, it's not a universal phenomenon. It's not sort of inevitable that there's going to be discrimination in the types of job we're studying here. It does seem to have strong concentration in particular firms and among firms that are concentrated in these particular industries.
And again, for our viewers, the resumes were identical. The qualifications and the skills were the same. It was the personal information that you changed. How then, if companies are watching this, people who can actually impact change, what can companies do to address discrimination and extinguish this type of behavior?
Yeah, that's a great question, and hopefully something that we can continue to work on in future research. The short answer is we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes at these companies. We see what our experiment is establishing is that companies do differ in the extent of discrimination that they exhibit as measured in an experiment like ours. We have some clues about what policies and practices might matter here, including things like how centralized their HR operation seems to be. Some companies, it seems that many individuals are involved in making hiring decisions at a single establishment. So it might be four.
Now, reflecting on the study, I honestly can't help but draw parallels to the experiences many of us have faced or witnessed in my country, South Africa. Personally, I've seen friends and family members with impeccable qualifications struggle to get callbacks, while others with similar or even lesser credentials seem to glide through the hiring process. Now, it's a disheartening reality that biases, intentional or not, continue to shape our professional landscapes. Now, the idea that your name alone could influence your chances of getting a job is a sobering reminder of the racism that still persists in our society. Now, the research team behind this new study used a methodology that allowed them to assign grades to 97 companies based on their level of racism in the hiring practices. Now, among the worst offenders were auto dealers and car part retailers such as Genuine Auto Parts and Auto Nation. Now, these companies showed significant discrepancies in callback rates between white and black applicants. Now, Doreen St. Flair, who is a career coach and a workplace consultant, shared her insights of the findings. Her observation highlight a critical point. Discrimination in hiring doesn't stop at entry-level positions only. It's apparently evident through organizational hierarchies affecting one's career path and potential growth in the company. Now, the study has sparked conversations across social media with users expressing a range of emotions from frustration to a call for action. One user stated, "The fact that you're not getting callbacks does not mean you suck. You're not a good worker. You don't deserve this thing. It's just the nature of the systematic forces at play." Now, others advocated for transparency and accountability in hiring practices, ensuring that companies to take concrete steps towards inclusivity. For job seekers facing bias, and Flair recommends leveraging their networks for opportunity. She says that prioritizing application to inclusive companies and even considering switching industries or locations are necessary. Now, the findings from the study underscores an unfortunate truth. Racial discrimination in hiring is still a reality. However, by shining a light on these practices, the researchers offer hope for change. Publicly naming companies based on their biases can push for greater accountability and actually encourage firms to adopt more fair hiring practices. Now, as we wrap up today's story, let's carry with us the understanding that change starts with awareness, and awareness leads to action. Companies must move beyond performative diversity statements and implement genuine practices that promote equality. For individuals, it's about supporting those who face discrimination and advocating for systematic change. With that being said, let's engage in the comments section. What are your thoughts in regards to this? We want to hear from you. And while you're at it, please give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till we meet again, it is goodbye.